Okay, guys, we are here again. We are talking about advanced psychobiology, and this is our third topic, and as important as the ones we have done already, neurotransmitter system. In this video, we will discuss what is neurotransmitter, the types of neurotransmitter, and the receptor subtypes, neurotransmitter receptor subtypes. Okay, so quickly, what is a neurotransmitter? Neurotransmitter, remember, there is a neuro there, right? So it's something in the brain. They are called chemical messengers. They are chemicals of the brain, not even in the brain. They are chemicals of the brain. Yes, they are in the brain, right? But they are chemicals of the brain. They are called chemical messengers, which help transmit signals. You can call it signal or information along nerve cells. Nerve cells, when you hear the nervous system, I'm sure you know it's all about neurotransmitter. Why I'm using the word nerve cells is to still please try to accommodate or try to reconstruct our understanding that when we're talking about nerves, we're talking about both the efferent and the afferent nerves, right? So neurotransmitters could include the ones in the brain. For example, you will see a neurotransmitter like epinephrine in the brain, but in the body, it is called adrenaline, right? You will see norepinephrine in the brain, in the body, it's called noradrenaline. So, nerves, transmissions, the power to take a signal from the brain to the other parts of the body, like pain. It is neurotransmitter involved, depending on the type responsible, right? The power to carry another information in your body, like pain again, to the brain, efferent nerve, right? They are still neurotransmitters involved, not just nerves. Nerves doesn't function in isolation, right? Now, like I said, they are chemical messengers responsible for several neural activities, nervous activities, such as your mood. In our local parlance, you hear somebody say, "My blood dey hot." Like then, your mood, you see your adrenaline rushing. Mood, right? You talk about fear, all of those things, right? That is involved in it, right? I don't want to take time with this. We talk about again appetite, your appetite. What happens when you are sleeping also? Your K complex, the sleep spindle, the brain activities at that point. What happens when you are thinking? What happens when you are learning? What happens when you are trying to memorize something? What happens in your movement? When you are moving, writing, jumping, even muscle controls, right? Neurotransmitters, they are very involved in all of these processes, and many other things, if I could remember them. So what are we trying to say? That neurotransmitters are chemical messengers, yes, that transmit signals from a particular neuron to another neuron, or to all the nervous system, or to the nerves, right? And we are saying that the neurotransmitters help us are responsible for activities like mood, those mood changes, appetite changes. You know what happens in lateral hypothalamus, what is stimulated, even in sex, even in sleep behavior, sex behavior, appetite or hunger and thirst behavior, right? We know all happen. Pain and stress. Oh, this one is very important. Pain and stress regulation, they modulate your pain and stress. Why are you not going to go through that pain to the extent that you are dead, or it harms you? There is part of this neurotransmitter that is responsible. For example, the endorphin. This is a larger type of neurotransmitter the peptides. We call them the peptides. The endorphin is secreted at the pituitary gland, right? If I'm correct, yes. So it helps in pain relief. Yes, we'll get to that very soon. So I have said what is neurotransmitter, and we have talked about some of the functions where it helps, right? It helps in a lot of things. Yes. So if I could emphasize again, we talked about pain and stress response. I've not talked about, what happens in stress response is another cause. One of the causes we are going to treat in this video again, health psychology. You want to check it out and see these neurotransmitters again at play in stress responses, right? Okay, so that having said what is neurotransmitter and their function, I want to again emphasize on what is a receptor then, or receptor cell. These are the receptor cells that receive these signals or this information, because these neurotransmitters are chemical messengers. They are signal carriers, information carriers, message carriers. And if I bring a mail at the post office, if you go there, you will only respond to the mail that is having your name signed on it, right? When I call your name, hey, Prince, right? You're expected to answer it. Your name is Prince. If your name is not Prince, Victor, is that your name? Oh, you answer. So you understand that these chemicals we have massive number of neurotransmitters, and not one receptor is involved is responsible to respond to all of them. Just like your key and the lock. Not every lock responds to every key. Every key has its lock, and every lock has its key. The lock and key, that is how neurotransmitters are. So, like we did in between neuron transmission, once the neurotransmitter pulls in, that is released into the synaptic gap. At that dendrite of the adjacent neuron or the receiving neuron, like we said, that is where you see the receptor cells, right? They pick it up. They pick it up. So these receptors at that dendrite is responsible to pick this liquid. Now, when I talked about lock and key, I'm emphasizing on the need for us to know that there are also receptor subtypes. Because, like I said, not because there are receptors there, they will just take any liquid that comes in there. There are particular receptors responsible for each liquid that is poured in. Each receptor, not all that respond. Not every name you call that you hear, you respond to. Not every key that can unlock your padlock, right? So, unlock your key. So this is very important. We're going to discuss that soon. But first, let's do the classes of neurotransmitters. I haven't done the meaning and their functions of neurotransmitters, and I've tried to emphasize on what is receptor and receptor subtype, which we'll still do later. Now, what are the classifications? I'll do the major ones that we need for this course, right? The first class of neurotransmitter we're going to be talking about are the one we call the amino acids. Amino acids. Please, in your definition of neurotransmitters, remember to point it out that most and all neurotransmitters are protein bound. Protein bound, depending on their chemical structure, the one that are 4G structured or 2G structured or one molecule of protein structured, depending on all those things, right? Yes, but all of them are proteinous in nature. Cool. Now we move. So the first class I said, number 1 is amino acids. Number 2 is the monoamines. Number 3 is the cholinergics. Yes, the cholinergics. And number 4, if need be, we'll call it peptides. Yes, but the first 3 is very key for this exam and for this course, right? Yeah. So the first 3, the first one is the amino acid. This is where you see the glutamate. The glutamate. Please, keyword, the glutamate is the one of the chief excitatory hormone neurotransmitter we have. The chief excitatory neurotransmitter is the glutamate. The second one here is GABA in capital. In full, gamma amino butyric acid. Gamma amino butyric, that is B-U-T-Y, right? R-I-C, butyric acid, that is GABA. Then this one again is the chief inhibitory neurotransmitter. Whereas the other one is glutamate is the chief that excites you, like all those anxiety activities and all of those things you see people so excited. The one that brings you low and everything is GABA. It helps you to sleep and all of those things, right? GABA, not necessarily so involved in sleep, but it's involved in sleep. But when you talk about calming effect of your body, GABA, right? Apart from melatonin that is chief in sleeping. Okay, so in amino acid we talked about glutamate, we talked about GABA, we're having again glycine, yes, and aspartate, A-S-P-A-R-T-A-T-E, aspartate. These are the 4 categories of neurotransmitters you see under the first class you said are known as the amino acids. Yes, number 2 are the monoamines. Mono, 1, amino, 1 molecule of protein, if I should use that word. Yes, so the monoamines are divided into 2 types, the catecholamines and the endolamines. The catecholamine, that is CATECHOLAMINE, yes, catecholamines. So under the catecholamines, we are seeing the dopamine, the epinephrine, and the norepinephrine. Yes. Then under the indolamines, INDO. Yeah, the indolamines is where you see the serotonin and the melatonin. Yes. If you remember what Renadesky said, that the melatonin is found in the pineal gland, where the mind and the body interact in a tiny small called the pineal gland. That is, by the way. So you understand what happens in sleep-wake cycle. Melatonin is heavily involved. So for some of you that don't know, okay, let me not talk about that here. Let's just move, right? I want to talk about some food that contain melatonin that helps sleep. Yeah, you can reach me at 07032261791. Please chat us up there or mail us for private tutorials or questions. So you can also come to this contact box. But for anything private, maybe you can also mail us chidoze.obianyo.201176@unm.edu.ng. Yes, that's our mail. You can reach us at that place or contact us via that. So that is catecholamines and the indolamines. We have talked about them, and this is the second class we call the monoamines, right? Number 3 is the cholinergics. The cholinergics, the particular neurotransmitter involved here is the acetylcholine. It's also an excitatory neurotransmitter. Yes. So the peptides, the pain relievers, yes, endorphin is under there. Yes, under the peptide, but that one is a larger aspect of proteinous neurotransmitter, and many others. But like I said, these ones are the major ones we're going to be looking at here. Now, quickly, I want to touch the receptor subtypes of most important neurotransmitters that will be needing to see in our exams. Yes, the receptor subtypes. Number 1, like I said, receptor subtypes are the receptors peculiar to those neurotransmitters that are released that respond to receive that information poured in the synaptic cleft or the synaptic gap. And for that of GABA, very important neurotransmitter we are going to be discussing, the GABA, the inhibitory hormone, and we have the GABA1, yes, GABA A, GABA B, and GABA C. although may see A1, GABA A2, but majorly you see GABA A and GABA B. Recently you see GABA C. These are the receptor subtypes of GABA and aminobutyric acid. These are the receptor subtypes. Then another important one is dopamine. The receptor subtypes of dopamine, one of the monoamines, the catecholamine, is D1, D2, D3, D4, and D5. These are the receptor subtypes of these neurotransmitter. We will understand it when we start talking about those psychological disorders. And the third is the epinephrine, also known in the body as adrenaline, and noradrenaline, also known as norepinephrine in the brain, right? So epinephrine and norepinephrine, their receptor subtypes are the same. And what are they? Alpha 1. We have alpha 1. Yeah, we have alpha 1, alpha 2, and after alpha 3, then we have beta 1, beta 2, beta 3. But under alpha 1, we have 1A, B, C. That is alpha 1A. That is alpha 1A, alpha 1B, alpha 1C. No, alpha 1D, A, B, D. Then alpha 2, we have alpha 2A, B, C. Yes. Then in beta 1, it's just beta 1, we have beta 2 and beta 3. Yes. So, but keyword, understand we have under epinephrine and epinephrine, we have alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha 1A, alpha. Okay, we have first alpha 1, that is in bracket alpha 1, that is 1A, 1A, 1B, 1D. Then alpha 2, that is 2A, 2B, 2C. Then again, you please beta 1, beta 2, beta 3. It's okay. You can stop it here. These the receptor subtypes for epinephrine and norepinephrine. Very important, and cannot be mistaken. Now we have another important one we cannot but do or talk about is serotonin. Yes, the happy hormone. We also, the major scientific name for serotonin is 5-hydroxytryptamine. 5-hydroxytryptamine. So 5, that is figure 5, HYDROXY. Yes, then you have TRYP, then TAMINA, tryptamine. 5-hydroxytryptamine. So the receptor subtypes for 5-hydroxytryptamine is 5-HT1, and this 5-HT1 has 1A, 1B to F. 5-HT1, 5-HT1A, 5A, that is in bracket 1A, 1B, you understand? So we have 5-HT1A, 5-HT1B, 5-HT1C, till 5-HT1F. Then 5-HT2, we have 2A, 2B, we don't have C here, right? Then we have 5-HT3, 5-HT4, 5-HT5, 5-HT6, 5-HT7. These are the receptor subtypes of 5-hydroxytryptamine, or you call it serotonin. I hope it's very clear. So this is a very important topic and must be understood clearly because they must appear in your exams. You must know what neurotransmitter, you must know some of the classes as we have explained, and the receptor subtypes of those neurotransmitters. These ones we highlighted is enough for what you need to know in respect to this exam. Please, I'm requesting, please do subscribe to our channel. Please share with your friends. Please like, and please give us a comment at the comment box. See you in the next video.